Imagine a vast, empty library where the books are sealed shut. Each volume holds stories of who you are, but the words are locked away, hidden behind layers of polished perfection. You wander these aisles, fingertips brushing the spines, yearning to read your own tales, yet fearing what truths they might reveal. The silence is heavy, pressing against your chest like an unshed tear, a reminder that even in solitude, the desire to be understood is a relentless whisper. You've spent years crafting a facade so impenetrable, even the rain refuses to leave a trace. Like a statue in a forgotten garden, you stand unyielding, a monument to resilience. But beneath the marble veneer, there's a storm, a cacophony of unsaid words and abandoned dreams. It's an orchestra playing to an audience that never arrives, each note a plea for recognition that echoes into the void. Your reflection is a stranger wearing your face, smiling with lips that never part. In the mirror's depths, you see not a person, but a collection of expectations, a mosaic of should-bes and must-dos. The mask is so familiar, it feels like skin, yet it suffocates, a second layer that filters out authenticity, leaving only shadows of what could be. There's a room inside your heart, a sanctuary of forgotten laughter and unspoken fears. The walls are lined with the echoes of conversations that never happened, words swallowed to maintain the peace. It's a quiet place, where the only light is the flicker of a candle, its flame dancing to the rhythm of your unshed tears. Here, you are whole, but only in silence, only when the world stops demanding more than you can give. The world sees your strength, admires it even, but it's a strength born of necessity, not choice. Like a tree rooted in barren soil, you've learned to grow despite, not because of. Each ring in your trunk tells a story of survival, of bending but not breaking, yet the fruit remains just out of reach, a promise unfulfilled. You walk through life as if on a tightrope, balancing the weight of expectations with the fear of falling into the unknown. Below, the abyss beckons with the promise of freedom, yet you cling to the wire, convinced that perfection is your only lifeline. It's a dance without music, a performance without applause, where the only audience is the one inside your head. In the quiet moments, when the world is still and the mask slips, you catch a glimpse of the person beneath. They are tender and flawed, a patchwork of moments stitched together with threads of vulnerability. In that fleeting instant, you feel the warmth of acceptance, a gentle reminder that to be whole is not to be perfect, but to embrace the imperfections that make you human. Yet, as the dawn breaks and the world demands your vigilance, the question lingers in the air, a soft whisper that refuses to be silenced. What if, for just one moment, you allowed yourself to be seen, not as a statue or a silhouette, but as the imperfect masterpiece you truly are? There are moments when the facade we carefully construct begins to crack, and through those fractures, something unexpected seeps in. It's as if the universe, in its quiet wisdom, decides to peel back the layers just enough for us to catch a glimpse of something more profound, something that changes us in ways we never imagined. Imagine standing in a room full of people, each voice a tangle of stories and intentions, yet feeling utterly alone. It's an old ache, one that whispers of inadequacy and isolation. You watch yourself from afar, playing the part you've rehearsed countless times. The laughter comes easy, the words flow, yet inside, there's a hollow echo that refuses to be filled. Then, in a moment of stillness, beneath the surface chatter, a memory stirs, a memory of a quiet afternoon. The sun had cast long shadows, and the air hummed with the promise of change. In that simplicity, an unexpected sorrow emerged. A friend, eyes filled with unshed tears, spoke of a loss that seemed too heavy to bear. You sat together in silence, no words needed, just a shared presence that acknowledged the weight of the world. It was there, in that shared vulnerability, that you saw it, the beauty of being human, imperfect and real. There was no need to fix, to solve, but simply to be. The pain had weight, yes, but it also held a history, a story that deserved to be heard. In that moment, the suffering found its shape, and with it came a quiet understanding. It wasn't about being whole or perfect, but about the richness of being authentic, scars and all. This realization wasn't a revelation that struck like lightning, but a gentle unfolding, a slow recognition that the struggle itself had meaning. It was a subtle shift, almost imperceptible at first, but irreversible. You realize that the cracks in your facade were not weaknesses, they were windows to something deeper, where light could finally enter. And so, you learn to walk in the world with a little more grace, a little more compassion for yourself and others. The search for perfection dwindled, replaced by a deeper desire to simply be present, to listen, to understand. The world hadn't changed, but your perception of it had. If these words are helping you name something that's been silent inside you, you're not alone. Join us by subscribing. We're walking this path together. In the dim light of the library, the air feels thick with stories unspoken, yet it is not the weight of the silence that presses upon him, but the clarity within it. A single candle flickers on the table, casting shadows that dance across the unopened books, their spines unbroken, secrets sealed tightly within. He stands before them, a figure caught between the lines of what has been and what might be. Next to him, a small hourglass sits, its sand motionless, time seemingly at a standstill. It is not the passing of moments that holds his attention, but the stillness itself. The grains of sand, suspended in the narrow neck, mirror his own suspended state. This is not a pause of inactivity, but a sacred interlude, a moment where the soul hesitates, poised on the edge of a decision not yet made. He reaches out, hesitantly, not to grasp the hourglass but merely to acknowledge it, to bear witness to its quiet testament of time's unyielding passage. In this silent recognition, there is a whisper of surrender, not to defeat, but to the acceptance that striving for perfection has been a path fraught with unseen burdens. The library breathes with him, its air a gentle balm against the quiet storm that rages within. He closes his eyes, feeling the solidity of the ground beneath his feet, an anchor in the vast sea of uncertainty. There is no grand revelation here, no epiphany to shatter the silence. Instead, there is the soft, elusive shift of something settling into place, an inching towards a truth that requires no words. He opens his eyes slowly, and the room seems to hold its breath with him. The candle's flame steadies, a beacon of fragile yet undeniable presence. The unopened books remain, silent sentinels to his journey, yet now seen in a different light. They are no longer daunting in their mystery, but companions in the shared exploration of what it means to be whole. There is a tenderness in this realization, a gentle acknowledgement of the cracks in his own facade, not as failures to be hidden, but as pathways to understanding. The hourglass remains untouched, its sand poised for the moment he chooses to turn it, to begin anew. Yet, in this sacred pause, there is no rush to act, only the profound stillness of being. He breathes deeply, a breath that carries with it the weight of unnamed sorrows and unspoken dreams. The room echoes with the quiet affirmation of his presence, not as a perfect being, but as one who dares to inhabit the spaces between words, between moments, between the past and what lies ahead. And so, he stands, in the embrace of silence, the soft glow of the candle a testament to the light found in vulnerability. The hourglass remains as it is, a promise of time yet to be embraced, a symbol of the choice to remain present in the unfolding now. In the stillness of the library, the air is thick with unsaid vows and the gentle rustle of possibility. He holds his breath, feeling the quiet power of a moment that asks nothing more than for him to simply be. In the quiet hum of our lives, there's a moment when everything we thought we knew begins to shift. It's not a grand revelation, nor a sudden burst of clarity. It's a subtle, almost imperceptible change, like the first light of dawn breaking the night. We carry so much, expectations, fears, the weight of unspoken dreams, and sometimes, without realizing, we bend under it all. But what if this exhaustion isn't failure? What if it's simply a sign we've carried more than we should have? Imagine standing in front of a mirror not to critique, but to see. To see past the lines of fatigue, past the practiced smiles, and into the eyes that have witnessed every moment of your existence. What if behind those eyes, you found someone who didn't need to be perfect, but simply present? Someone who could let go of the need to be seen as flawless and instead embrace the quiet power of being real? In the stillness of that realization, something shifts. It's like the world softens around you, even if just a little. The once unbearable pressure of trying to please everyone can start to feel strangely steady. There's a release, a softening of the edges. It may still hurt, but it's a hurt that feels honest, a pain that speaks to a deeper truth. And what if answering every demand or expectation wasn't the answer? What if the most honest thing you could do was to not answer at all? To let the silence speak for you, to let it hold the space where words once crowded in. In this space, you begin to realize that invisibility doesn't mean absence. It can mean protection, a sacred pause where you gather what's been scattered. Grief, too, finds its place here. Not as a burden to be hidden or rushed through, but as a sacred companion. What if your grief wasn't something to move past, but something to sit with? To hold gently, acknowledging its rightful place in your heart. It doesn't have to be loud or demanding, it's simply there, a testament to all that has mattered. In this unfolding, you find a new kind of wholeness. Not the polished, unreachable perfection you once chased, but a wholeness that embraces every flaw and fracture. It's the realization that being whole isn't about being untouched by life, but about being open to it, open to its messiness, its unpredictability, and its beauty. What if this is how you're meant to live? Not in the shadows of what others expect, but in the light of your own truth. What if the journey isn't about becoming someone else, but about returning to who you've always been? If this touched something quiet inside you, I'd be honored to hear what it stirred. Leave a comment, if you feel like sharing. We're all walking through something. Imagine the stillness of a night where the world seems to pause, the sky a deep velvet, scattered with stars that silently bear witness. In this quiet, there is nothing to fix, nothing to change, just the gentle hum of existence that wraps around you like an old, familiar blanket. You are not alone. There is a presence beside you, a shadow that understands without words, where the shared silence speaks volumes more than any conversation ever could. This is not about finding answers or mending broken pieces, it's about acknowledging each fracture as part of the whole. The weight you carry feels like a stone, heavy and unyielding, yet here it is cradled with tenderness. There is no rush to move, no urgency to heal. The stone sits in the palm of a hand that knows its contours intimately. It's a hand that has held its own stones, each unique in its burden, yet all part of the same landscape of being. The presence beside you is not here to lift the weight but to simply be with it, to acknowledge its reality without judgment or haste. Picture the flicker of a single candle, its flame steady despite the faintest drafts. This flame does not strive to illuminate the entire room, nor does it burn with the reckless intensity of a wildfire. It simply exists, casting a soft glow that is enough for now. In its light, shadows play gently, revealing that even in darkness, there is beauty, even in silence, there is a story. Here, in this moment, you are whole without being perfect. The cracks, the scars, the weariness, they are not flaws to be erased but lines in the story that is uniquely yours. This presence beside you, the one that sits in solidarity with your struggle, does not ask for change but offers quiet companionship. It is a testament to the truth that you are enough, as you are, in this very moment. There is no need for grand gestures or profound insights. Just the simple act of breathing, of being, is enough. The world does not demand your perfection, only your presence. And in this presence, there is a quiet strength, one that does not shout but whispers, reassuringly, that you are not alone. In the stillness, the night holds its breath, as if listening to the rhythm of your heart, each beat a reminder of your resilience. The presence beside you remains, a silent ally in the quiet battle of being, offering nothing but the comfort of shared understanding. Together, you sit, not to solve or resolve, but to simply be. If this reached something quiet inside you, you can like the video, so someone else might feel less alone, too. There is a moment when you stand quietly, after the storm of trying to be more, trying to prove something to the world, and you realize that the weight was never yours to carry. You see, in the silence that follows, that every crack and imperfection is not a flaw but a testament. A testament to the life you've lived, the battles fought, and the love given and received. Perfection was never the goal, it was a mirage, a distraction from the truth that you are enough, as you are, in this very breath. In this sacred pause, you find yourself standing not in judgment, but in acceptance. Acceptance of every scar, every whispered fear, and every dream let go. The journey has not been about fixing or completing, but about witnessing. Witnessing the beauty in the incomplete, the strength in the vulnerable. It is here, in this quiet acceptance, that you find wholeness. Wholeness that does not demand perfection, but rather presence. The presence of being truly here, with all that you are. The heart knows a language beyond words. It understands the quiet spaces between what is said and what is felt. It is in these spaces that we encounter the profound, the unnameable. And it is here, standing beside you in silence, that I witness your truth. There is no need to speak or to fill the air with explanations. Just being here, as you are, is enough. In the gentle unfolding of this moment, there is a recognition. A recognition that, despite the chaos and the striving, you have arrived. Arrived at a place where you can breathe, where you can simply be. This place is not found on any map, but it is more real than anything else. It is the home within yourself, where the light and shadow dance together without shame. If there is one thing to carry from this moment, let it be this: you are beautifully, achingly whole, even when all feels broken. If this reached something quiet inside you, you can like the video, so someone else might feel less alone, too. Thank you for watching. Be part of our community by subscribing to the channel. See you in the next video.